Hi everyone, it's Jo Carter here. Welcome to my December 2017 wrap-up. Happy 2018 everybody, if I haven't already said it. I'll definitely still be doing short little reviews of my books, but instead of doing a month-by-month wrap-up, I'm going to do a current reads video where I talk about the last 3 or 4 books that I've read recently and then stop, read another 4 and go on from there. I was feeling a bit stressed with the month-by-month videos, trying to have enough books to read to justify a wrap-up, and basically if I hadn't read 3 or more books I was feeling stressed, particularly in December because it is the month that I'm dubbing when I felt like I was never going to finish anything. So it's just a way for me to take the pressure off and hopefully just to enjoy reading and not be thinking how many books I have to get read this month, especially because I've got a few big books that I'm wanting to start. The camera's actually propped up by the first Game of Thrones book. It'll be my next epic fantasy series since that I'm currently reading the last Lord of the Rings book. So please no spoilers because I haven't been spoiled for any of these. It is like I'm living under a rock considering that I don't really know much. I do kind of know the names of the Game of Thrones people, but there's so many of them that I don't really know enough about them. I know that Daenerys is dragons and that, you know, Joffrey's evil, and I know there's a guy called Jon Snow and that winter's coming. Those basic things, but I don't really know anything. So I'm hoping for it to stay that way and for me to go into the books almost blind. But enough about that, let's get on with the books that I read in December. The first book I attempted to read is The Book Thief by Markus Zusack. Now I say attempted because I did DNF this book. It is officially on my abandoned shelf, and even though it hurts me because the cover is so gorgeous, I am definitely abandoning this book and going to give it away eventually when I do another unhaul post. So I got about maybe this way through, and it was just too hard to read. It's not as if the book is particularly challenging to read. I understand the vocab and the sentences were easy to fly through, but it just wasn't interesting me. It was boring me, even though I love the idea of the premise. We're in Germany when the Nazis are in charge. It's about a girl that steals books and learns to read, and it's narrated by Death. The whole thing of it sounds like an amazing premise, but I just found the writing dull. I didn't like how Death told you what was going to happen and then described it. I felt as if he got rid of all the tension by telling you what was going to happen. And then we had to sit through it, and coupled with the fact that I've also watched the movie, I just didn't find any reason to keep reading, and every time I thought about it I kept going, ugh. Unless I think about the cover, and then I'm like, oh, the cover's so beautiful, but the story inside is just... ugh. So I'm getting rid of it. I don't rate books that I DNF because I don't think it's fair to them, so I don't have a rating for this one. After The Book Thief, I picked up 50 Shades Freed by E.R. James, ready in time to watch the next movie when Valentine's Day came out. I'm pretty sure I gave this book about 3.5 stars, or 3 stars even. I wanted it to be a really awesome quick read. The first one I didn't really enjoy, the second one I really liked, and I was hoping that this one continues to pick up because I've told that their relationship does pick up, but it really doesn't. There are high bits, there are a lot of low bits. I got maybe 3/4 of the way through and Anna did something really stupid that I actually literally threw the book onto the floor. I know, I'm sorry, it's book abuse, but I had to do it, otherwise I would have ripped the pages out. And then I couldn't keep reading because I couldn't sit through another sex scene after what Anna did. So I put it down. And then I picked up P.S. I Love You, read a bit of that, was interested in it, and then got over my anger at Anna, put it down, and picked up 50 Shades of Freed again. So this is the month where I feel like I'm never going to finish a book. And these are all pretty fat books. And then I ended up finishing 50 Shades Freed after I picked it up for the second time. Christian did a stupid thing, but by that point I was just beyond mad at them. So I almost find it hilarious. And then what Anna sort of does a couple of pages later when the final climax happens kind of made me laugh. even though it's kind of awful and you would hate it to happen to yourself, but I was just so like, oh, you too. and I'm really happy that I've finished the trilogy. I don't know whether I'm glad to have read it or not, probably, you know, glad to have experienced the 50 Shades phenomenon, but I'm hoping that the movie is a lot better and they edit out some of the stupid things that these two do, because these are so annoying. And I filled lots of car trips to work with ranty monologues to myself, out loud, getting irritated at how dumb these two people are. But I guess that's what the romance is. It's not supposed to be a nice, perfect romance where the characters make sense. It is a dumb book, and there are definitely reasons why it is. But all in all, it's entertaining. It's kind of like Gossip Girl and really sugary candy. It's bad for you, but it can be entertaining. And then I picked up P.S. I Love You Again by Cecilia Ahern. I gave this book 3 stars. I was trying to debate on whether to give it 4, but overall it was just like yeah, this is okay. I thought it was going to be an amazing story. Didn't think there was going to be that much romance, because it tells you in the back that Jerry dies. So it's a book about a woman, if you haven't watched the movie, it's a book about a woman whose husband dies before her 30th birthday, and he leaves her a bunch of letters to read each month to help her get past his death. And so I knew there wasn't going to be a ton of romance, but I kind of thought I might get swept away and love it. And I only just liked it, to the point where I'm actually going to unhaul this one as well, because I just don't care. The only strong emotions I really felt on this book were imagining my own partner passing away and leaving me. And that's not really the book's merit. That's just the topic that it's about. I did really like the main character, Holly. I enjoyed watching her, or reading her journey to finding herself again, but ultimately it just didn't do it too much for me. It was okay. Don't regret reading it. It's a bit big for what it was, but that's cool. I'll get rid of that one, and I don't regret reading it. And the final book I read kind of feels like a cheap book, even though it's not, because I read manga. Ajin, Demi-Human, Volume 2 by Gamon, Sakurai. I really should go on Google names before I say them. Gamon, Sakurai. Something like that. I'm sorry. So this is the second volume in the Ajin Demi-Human series, and it's a manga series all about... Look how lazy I am. I'm putting my elbow up on the desk, on the shelf, because I'm so lazy. But it is a book based on these demi-humans, which are virtually the same as any human, but when they die they come back to life and regrow and re-heal anything. So, you know, lose a limb, die, the limb grows back. Get your vocal cords cut out, die, they grow back. They don't die. And the main character is a demi-human, and he's trying to escape the Japanese community, I guess, or just society in general, because they're wanting to experiment on the demi-humans, because they can't die and they can chop them up and everything, but they can still feel pain, and so it's really shit what they're doing to them, and I felt so awful for the main character. This is a very quick book. Not a lot happens between the pages because it's very action-packed, but I definitely enjoyed this one a lot more. I'm pretty sure I gave it 4 stars, I think. The first one, I can't really remember it because I read it at the start of this year. The start of this book, this volume, I was a little bit confused with what was going on and not really feeling it, but yeah, about like midpoint I was pretty invested, and I'm keen to read the next one. And I'll probably actually continue with this manga and keep reading it, even though it's ridiculously expensive for something that takes me like an hour to read, but I really like it. And this is that's the art style. It's not like super interesting. So there's one of them cutting off his arm because he got hit by a tranquilizer. That can bring them down. I'll just cut my arm off because that's fine. So those were the 3 books that I read and finished in December. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next time in a current reads video. Hopefully not a book haul video, except I do have one more book. I will have a book haul video to do, actually. I stand corrected because I got some books for Christmas. But there's a book buying fair on this weekend for my local Rotary Club, which is like a community club, good to support. Generally the books are like $2 each, or they do your deals, or you can like fill a bag for $50. And I wasn't gonna go. Like, I was fine seeing all the signs around town. That was alright. But then I read the paper today and they made it sound really good. And then I also chatted to one of my colleagues and she's so keen and wants to go. And now I'm like, not sure, and I don't want to go. I don't want to buy extra books. Like I've said in my previous video, or if you haven't seen it, my goal this year is to cut my to be read pile down by 12 books from what it is at the start to what it is at the end. So I want to read lots of books. I don't want to buy that many, or I can unhaul a bunch on my to be read shelf. But I'm just struggling right now. So I was actually going to film this video on Saturday, but I didn't want to waste my wavy hair. I braided this, I braided it on New Year's Day. I had a shower, braided it back, kept it like that for the day and the night, and my hair was so curly and wavy, and I didn't want to waste it because it's quite heavy. But yeah, I'll see how I go on the weekend. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I keep going back and forth. Like, at one point I'm like, yeah, it'll be fine. I'll go get some Agatha Christie's. Maybe I'll see something else there. And then another part of me is like, dude, if you don't want to go, just don't go. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Yay. But yeah, wish me luck, guys. I hope you've had an awesome week and an awesome New Year, even though I'll probably post this when it's been a little bit after New Year. But I will see you all next time. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you want to see more of me. You can click the notification bell, because I've just discovered that you actually have to hit that, otherwise they don't really tell you everything. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye!